want to tell you how grateful I am since we had this time change at 8 o'clock this morning, and that we have such a good turnout. And I want to thank the people who are here from the villages, and I believe there's some people who are here from Wildwood, and obviously there's also people that are here from Marion County. And I want to introduce just for a second Joyce Blake. Where is Joyce?
Right here behind you. Right here.
Oh, there you are. Just to...
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so very much for coming out for this very special event being held here in Sumter this afternoon. My name is Joyce Blake. I'm the State Committee Woman for Marion County, and we're working very diligently, even though we're very red up there, we're working very diligently to try to make it purple and hopefully blue in the near future. Here's Julian.
And of course, also we have our 11th Congressional Congressman candidate, Dave Kohler. Thank you. And so now I'm going to do the formal introduction. So Annette and I met each other at the last Village Democratic Club meeting, and of course the reason we connected is because we were both chairmen of DECs, and we both knew what that meant. Annette originally comes from Colombia, where her father worked as a helicopter pilot in South America. As a child, Annette organized drives for needy children and volunteered at local orphanages. She got her entrepreneur start as a 13-year-old selling oranges to her neighbors from her family grove. Annette's family moved to Miami when she was 18, and Annette graduated from University of North Alabama in 1992 with a degree in commercial Spanish and a minor in business administration. She settled in Miami-Dade County. In 1995, Annette founded Language Speak, a language service company that offers translation into over 240 languages, and Language Speak has been named one of the top 100 small businesses in Florida and one of the top 500 small businesses in the United States. Annette has served as the chair of the Miami-Dade Democratic Party. In 2008, she was the Democratic nominee for Congress in South Florida's 18th district, receiving more votes than any other Democrat who ran in that district. Annette is the proud wife and mother, married to Dr. Eric Goldstein, a clinical psychologist and motivational speaker. She has an 8-year-old daughter named Sophia, and Dr. Goldstein and his two other children from a previous marriage live in Pinecrest, Florida. So I just want to say, you're going to be like what Joe Biden is to President Obama. You're going to be more than a figurehead. You are going to be a very, very important person in the Chris administration.
Thank you. How's everybody doing? I'm so glad. I'm so glad to be back here. I love the signs. Honorary villager. I like that. I like that a lot. Well, you guys, how many of you have watched the debates? Yeah. What did you think?
We won.
Yeah. Charlie won every time. This is my fan now. I don't have anywhere to plug it up, but turn around one more picture with it.
Yes.
But this is my fan. I am Charlie's biggest fan. So I figured I needed my own fan, and I wanted it in pink, but it turned out in purple. But that's okay. We're about to turn the state blue, so might as well have a purple fan, and then I'll turn it into a blue one right after we win. I'm going to teach you guys a Spanish word, azul. Azul, which is blue. That's our state. It's going to be azul after November 4th. I am so excited. And, you know, speaking of the debates and the fan, or Fangate as they like to call it, I think it was funny, it was amazing, it was horrendous, it was a little bit of everything. But the really sad part of it all is that we have a governor that while he was having a tantrum, and I could see him, I could see him on the side, and I could see that he was having a real tantrum. And, I sat there, and I was just amazed. I was like, oh my gosh, we have a governor standing on the podium, ready to talk about the issues, Charlie Crist, ready to take any question you want. And then we have another governor who wants to fight over a fan. But he won't fight for 1 million Floridians who don't have health insurance because he won't expand Medicaid. Think about that. He will fight over a fan, but he won't fight for our children and grandchildren's education when he cut $1.3 billion from our education. He will fight over a fan, but he won't fight for everything that we have fought so much for. For example, he doesn't believe in science. He doesn't even meet with scientists. Think about that. And we live in a beautiful state where we have so many people visit. Imagine if we don't protect it. And we don't believe in protecting it. That's who we have right now. I mean, maybe he went camping. He'll go hunting to Texas with these friends of his from the sugar industry, come back and appoint them to the board that actually, decides how to do the cleanup for the sugar industry. That's who we have. That's who we have. And now what we have is somebody who has just written a $20 million check. He said he wasn't going to write a check for this election, Rick Scott. The last time he bought it, $75 million he paid. And it was all by himself. And we know where he got his money, right?
Yeah.
So it is just amazing to me that, he thinks he's going to buy this election again. And by gosh, he spent already $65 million attacking Charlie. I want you to understand that. $65 million so far already. There's more to come, just with 11 days to go. But we're not going to let him buy this election, are we? No! Not again. No. Not again. And so we are continuing to be out there. I am back here because I want you to know every vote. Yay! What a vote! Every vote counts. I'm so excited to be back with so many of you that I saw, right after Charlie had announced to me as his running mate, not too long after that I came to see all of you, and I'm just delighted to be back. And again, just at the tail end of the campaign, we just have 11 days. So I need some things from you. I need your help to make sure that we get out and get the vote out. And 61,000 votes, it's all that it took the last time. Now, I want you to know something. We're looking at the numbers, and we know that they do much better with absentee ballots than we do. But we're still way ahead of where we were in 2010. And then early voting, that's when we do better. But I'll tell you, they've tried different things, and they're going to continue to try. And it's, South Florida heavy Democrat. It's been raining a lot this week. So that doesn't help. But now it stopped. And the sun's coming out, and it's gorgeous, and we're going to spend a lot of time getting people out. This is our first weekend of early voting. I need you guys to get people out to vote. Every single vote is going to count. We are not going to leave any vote in any area without turning and looking, even if it's under a rock. We have to find every single vote because he is trying to buy this election again. And that's why he's having these tantrums, because it's like, oh my gosh, he's running away from him. And how can you spend $65 million and still be tied? Or we're ahead. We're either there or the other. I mean, that shows that we the people want the governor's mansion to go back to the people where it belongs. Charlie has always been a public servant. He understands that once you're elected, you represent the public. And that's why he earned the name, the people's governor. He always fought the special interests. He called a special session when insurance companies were jacking up our rates after a bunch of hurricanes. And he called a special session and said, we got to protect the people. We got to make sure that, well, first of all, we can get coverage, right? And second of all, that they're not going to jack up the rates. So now what have the insurance industry done? They've given a bunch of money to Rick Scott, and they want to make sure that Charlie doesn't go back. Because they remember when Charlie was there and he fought the special interests. You know who else has given him a lot of money, Rick Scott? The electric companies, because they also remember that it was Charlie who fought so that they wouldn't jack up our rates. And so they don't want Charlie back, these special interests. We know, or the sugar industry. But we've got you. That's what they don't understand. We have the people. And if we vote, we win. We win. And I know we're going to win. I know. Because I can see that people are standing in the sun and coming out in the middle of the day to say, we're here, we're going to work, we're going to knock on doors, we're going to make phone calls, we're going to do everything necessary. Now, I want you to know that many of you know from the last time I was here, I have an 8-year-old daughter who goes to public school. And there are many times during the campaign when things go up and down and you feel good, and then at times you're so tired. They're long days. But when I speak to my daughter on the phone, I think this is what this is for. This is for the future of so many kids, so that they can have the opportunity to the American dream that I've had. And to just have anything, to accomplish anything they want to do. Anything. And that's not what we have right now. We have somebody that has not just cut $1.3 billion from education, but he's cut Bright Future scholarships in half. Half. Now think about this. 50,000 kids have been told, do everything right, get the right grades, study hard, and you will have that scholarship that we will give you. Rick Scott gets there? No longer. 50,000. That is the size of an entire university. It's like closing the door to 50,000 kids. That's not right. That's not right. And that's not the Florida we all want. We want a Florida where everyone has an opportunity, where we grow our economy from the middle class out, not from the top down. Because we've tried this top trickle down thing, and the rest of us are going to get, do okay. It hasn't worked. So we know that Rick Scott and his friends, up at the top are doing real well, but we believe that everyone should do well, that everyone should have an opportunity to succeed, and that women should be paid equal pay for equal work. So Charlie and I have come out with a program that's called First Day of Fairness. On the first day, save the date, January 6th, it's inauguration. And we are going to have a big, big celebration in Tallahassee. But after that, we're going to go to Charlie's office. He's going to grab his pen, and we're going to enact some things that need to happen right away. Raise the minimum wage to $10.10 an hour, first of all. Second of all, open government. What a concept. You've heard about the Gmail accounts, and today he was supposed to show up. Rick Scott was supposed to show up at a deposition. Didn't show up, of course. Taking the fifth again. Well, we do have a program for school loans, absolutely, because
that already owe a gazillion dollars.
It's a program to help refinance, taking from other states where they've done great things to help the kids refinance for the loans, absolutely. And I've been going to all the different schools, and just left University of Florida talking to students. So we've been talking about the refinancing of loans. But the other thing that we'll use the pen to do is to make sure that we don't discriminate against anyone on the basis of who they love, because we believe in equality, and we believe in marriage equality. So that is something else that he will use his pen first day. And the open government that I was telling you about, that is something that Charlie had when he was governor, where, the media wants to know anything, and I think there's some media here. The media wants to know anything. It's like, sure, whatever you need. Because if you are not doing anything wrong, you don't have to hide anything. So we're going to, make sure that the media has open government. We say that we're in the Sunshine State, but somehow this governor likes to hide. And we are going to put it all back out in the sunshine like it should be. And the other thing that we want to do is, I just said, equal pay for equal work for women. Women make 83 cents on the dollar for equal work as a man. We got to change that, and we're going to change that from day one. So I don't know if I remembered every one of them, because there's a lot of things that we're going to do. Oh, small business. I'm a small business owner. How could I forget? One of the things that's happening at the state is that these government contracts that are, from our tax dollars, are being given to companies in Georgia and Texas. How about our small businesses right here that, can actually create jobs? 98% of our jobs in Florida come from small businesses. Think about that. If we actually invested in small businesses and allowed them to have first dips on those government contracts, that's what we want to do. We believe in Floridians. We believe that Floridians can do the work that Rick Scott believes that Georgians and Texans can do. So let's invest in our own small businesses right here. So this is what we're going to do from day one. Of course, then we got to fight the Republicans to make sure that we can expand Medicaid and we can do a bunch of other things. But before we can enact all these things, I need you guys to get 5 people. Everybody raise their hand. 5. Everybody knows at least 5 people they can bring to the polls. 5. Think about this. The last time when we lost by 61,000 votes, that was approximately 10 votes per precinct. In your own precinct, you gotta know 5 people so that you can help us get there. We have to get there, and we can do it if we just bring other people. So I need your help. This is a people-powered campaign. Our contributions are an average $200 or less. Over 50,000 people have invested in the future of Florida with Charlie, Chris, and Annette Taddeo. And I need you to invest your time, your money for just 11 more days. And then we can party and turn the state azul. So when we win, because I know you're standing in the sun, and thank God we have beautiful sun, and I wish we were #1 in solar energy in the state. But unfortunately, we're number 17. We should be #1 in the world, is what we should be. I just left the University of Florida, and I loved it. I saw that they had just a bench, picnic table with the umbrella. The umbrella had solar power, and then they had the plugs for you to plug in your phone and charge your phone, your iPad, all these things. And I said, oh my gosh, I love it. I took a picture. I'm, definitely on Twitter. It's so exciting. We're going to do such great things. We believe in investing in the future, the present and the future. And Florida should be #1 in so many of these technologies. So we're going to do that. And when we do that, when we win on November 5th, today the sun shines out, but we know there's a shade of Rick Scott over the Sunshine State. Shady Rick. We gotta get rid of that. And when we win November 4th, when we win on November 5th, the sunshine will come out again for the Sunshine State. Thank you so much.
We're going to have Annette take questions from the audience. So anybody have a question they would like to ask her? Yes, Helen?
And don't you think, on the heels of what this woman just asked,
don't you think if Charlie just came out and announced right now that he's going to work very hard to refinance student loans, every college graduate that's sitting at home without work or mulling over, I bet would run out to those polls.
Wait, it sounds like he wants to, but...
Yeah, no, we have. We have announced it. That's why we've been going to all the universities and talking to the students. So I will tell you, at the University of Florida, they actually stopped them from having an early voting location, remember?
Yeah.
They know. They know that, the students are with us, and they don't want them to vote.
Just look at its
So,
it says everything.
So what we're going to do is, it's out there. I actually went to a few universities with the second lady, Joe Biden's wife, and we went and spoke to students, because she's a college professor, and we went and spoke to students, and we do have a plan to refinance. We have a plan to bring back the Bright Future scholarships back whole, so that those 50,000 kids can have the scholarship they were promised, but also the refinancing, because it's really a problem, and we need to work with students so that they don't feel like they're getting, way in debt before they even graduate. We know, I know, I got loans. It took a while to pay them back. But these are the things that we want to do, and we do have it. It's on our website if anybody wants to go see it. But we do have a plan for helping students and for refinancing.
To get jobs when
Yeah,
they got out of school. That's
yeah,
the difference.
absolutely. All right, anybody else? Yeah.
One of the first things Charlie did last time was reinstate rights to felons. Is he going to do that again?
Nonviolent felons, absolutely. He did that, and actually, it was a total reversal once Rick Scott got in. And I'll tell you, I actually want to tell you the story of a woman in Orange County. She lives in Orlando. In the city of Orlando, and she was one of these kids, right? And she paid her debt, made a mistake, but then she decided she wanted back. She wanted to really be productive in society. Went to school, became a nurse, but she couldn't get her rights back. And so many things were not possible for her because she didn't have her rights back. Thanks to Charlie Crist, she got her rights restored, continued to work as a nurse, and now she is an elected city commissioner in the city of Orlando. Think about that story. This is the difference when you have a governor that believes that you should get better, that you should wanna become a part of our society and a good member of our society, contributing. She is now a city commissioner and tells that story about Charlie, and she's like, I wouldn't be an elected city commissioner if it weren't for Charlie Crist restoring her rights. And what's worse, and when she talks about it, she says she didn't feel like a person. She didn't feel like she was worth anything because she didn't have any rights. And this was a young woman that made some mistakes when she was young and wanted to restore her life and her rights. And now she is a leader in her community. I mean, it's a perfect example of why we believe that nonviolent offenders should have a right to restore their rights. And certainly we don't want them going back to prison, which is what's happening when you don't allow them to get back with society. So thank you for that question.
About immigration reform.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if you saw it at the debates. Immigration reform was just like, I just couldn't believe it. I mean, you had Charlie who was saying, we gotta move forward and we can, look guys, try to cover the sun with one hand. It's really hard, right? And we have a saying in Spanish, you can't do that. And that's what, it's like you can't just pretend that we don't have a bunch of people living in the shadows. We do, especially in Florida. So we are for immigration reform, very disappointed that Washington hasn't done it. But just because Washington hasn't done it doesn't mean that we need to have a governor that wants Arizona-style immigration in Florida. Tried to pass it, along with his lieutenant governor, who whipped for the votes and whipped hard, including Hispanic representatives, believe me. So, some of them have even left the Republican Party because they felt so badly about the fact that one of their own was trying to get them to vote for an Arizona-style immigration law. So you saw at the debates where he wouldn't even answer the question on whether or not he supported the bill that was passed by the Senate by his own Marco Rubio, who helped draft it. Then he goes, well, I haven't read it. Really? You don't have to read it to answer the question. Do you believe in a pathway to citizenship for these people? And he wouldn't answer it.
How did Rubio get his education?
Go ahead.
I wanted to ask you about Medicaid, for Charlie to expand the Medicaid take the president, which actually saves us money. It doesn't cost much.
Well, first of all, the Medicaid expansion, which I spoke a little bit about, and is this... Do we have to cut it? Okay. So the Medicaid expansion, I spoke about $51 billion. By the way, the latest report that I've seen from one of these nonpartisan groups, it has gone up now to about $64 billion that we are leaving on the table. Please remember, this is money we send to Washington. This is not Washington's money. It's our money. We need it back. We need to expand it. And we know it's not going to be easy because there are certain Republicans, unfortunately, the Republican Party has been taken over by the Tea Party agenda. And, we need to somehow get it done, because 1 million Floridians without health insurance is not okay. And you're right, it costs us more money, because when they get sick and go to the hospital, guess who pays? The rest of us. So it's just, you know, I don't have to be an economics professor to know that it's just simple economics. It makes no sense. So the hospitals, the doctors, everybody has said it is the right thing to do. We need to do it. It's good for our state. It's good for our economy. But it's the right thing to do for those people who don't have insurance, and they're working Floridians. So we're going to get it done. And Charlie said, even if the Republicans won't go along with it, we are looking into the possibility of using, you know, his pen and to get it done. So we will do whatever it takes to make sure it gets done. I have to run, but I want to say thank you so much to all of you. And one more question.
We have Katie Sartoris, who's the political editor of the Daily Sun. Do you have any specific question you want to ask Annette?
I've got a couple, but if I could... Yeah, we can just do it.
Come on.
Give her the
You
mic.
can do it on the way to the car. It's okay.
Hi, I'm
Yes.
Katie. Good, how are you? I wanted to know, what's the number one senior issue that you and Charlie would act? What's the number one senior issue that you and Charlie would act on?
There's actually a lot. Healthcare is a senior issue that Charlie always worked on, which was, you know, the donut hole, which he worked on for people to be able to get their prescription coverage that was falling under that donut hole. But, you know, just the special interest versus the people. When you are a senior, and in Florida we have a lot of seniors that live on a limited income. So when you live on a limited income and your insurance for your home keeps going up and your electric bill keeps going up and you have a governor that is in bed with all these companies, then that hurts seniors big time. So we need a governor that's going to be with the people and making sure to fight all those special interests. Think about the people that are being appointed to these boards. For example, the Public Service Commission, which oversees the electric rates, and they keep going up, and they keep appointing all these insiders, not servants of the public who are truly going to stand there and defend the rights of the people and fight so that those rates don't go way up. But also, obviously, I already talked about it, the solar energy that we want to, you know, make sure that we become the leaders globally will also help lower the rates for everyone. So just having a governor that is always fighting for the people, not for special interests, will be a tremendous help in all those issues for the senior community. And I look forward to making sure that we do that. So thank you. With your help, we're going to win.
Yay! Thank you!